Hey guys, it's Alicia. Thanks so much for watching. You are now tuned in to the best drugstore products of 2013 part 2. If you tuned into my last video, you know things turned out a little longer than I originally anticipated. So I unfortunately had to split the video up into two. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily unfortunate, but I just didn't want the videos to be super long. And I wanted to go through all the products and just made sure I talk about everything and went over my different techniques with you guys. So finally, this is part 2 for you. I go over eyeliners, shadows, blushes, just all the other products that weren't in part 1. So thank you so much for watching part 1. I hope you enjoyed part 2, and if you want to see the rest of my favorite drugstore products of 2013, then just keep watching. Thanks, guys. Alright, so for eyeliners, there's a few products that I really love. First is the Rimmel Scandal Eyes. Right here I just have it in brown. But the Rimmel Scandal Eyes, they're just really wonderful liners. You can see the brown right there. They're not as long lasting as some of the other liners I use, but they definitely work on your waterline. I've been using this brown a lot lately for kind of a softer look, not as harsh as the black. And it's something I've been really loving, so definitely, and for the price, it's definitely worth trying. But an eyeliner that does last and last and last on your eyes is this Milani liquid eyeliner. And this was blowing up on YouTube for a long time. I just had to try it. As you can see, it's black, black, black. It's not going to come out a gray or color or anything like that. And when you put it on, it's really creamy. But you kind of have to work pretty quickly with it because it dries to kind of a matte formula, and once it dries, it's there. It's on your eye and it's not going anywhere. I like pretty much every other girl, was on the hunt for an eyeliner that I can put in my waterline and didn't budge, especially from the drugstore. That's a lot harder to find, but this Milani Liquid Eye does the job. And it feels really nice on your eyes. It doesn't go anywhere. It's black, black, black. So that's a very great drugstore eyeliner. Another liner that I love is this NYX Wonder Pencil. It just kind of looks like that. This color is in light. And it's not quite white, but it's a peachy color. I don't know if you can see it. I just put it on right there. And I will use this sometimes after I do my brows. I will just line right under them and kind of blend it out, because when you put a light colored pencil or concealer under your brows, it just makes them look even sharper and they stand out even more. You wouldn't think it would make that big of a difference, but it really does. I encourage you to try that. And also, if I'm going for kind of a lighter makeup look, I'll use this cream color on my waterline, my bottom waterline, and it just makes your eyes look bigger and brighter rather than doing, when you do black eyeliner on your inner rim, it makes your eyes look smaller and kind of set in. Using this light liner, especially on the bottom, it just opens up your eyes and make them look bright and awake. If I've had a long night the night before and I was looking kind of tired, definitely use this pencil to brighten things up. Again, the NYX Wonder Pencil, definitely a great eyeliner. As far as liquid liners go, oh, my foot's asleep. Oh. Alright, as far as liquid liners go, there's definitely a few that I really love. The first one is from Maybelline, and it's called the Line Stiletto. It looks like that, and basically it has this little felt tip here. So if you can kind of see, it's really bendy. But it's got a nice fine point to it. So when you go to do your liner, it makes it very easy to get that winged eyeliner look. And it just comes out really nicely. You just get that fine, thin line. And with a lot of liquid liners, because they're liquid formula, sometimes you don't get the blackest black. But this comes out to a really nice deep black and doesn't dry out to something really light. So definitely the Maybelline Line Stiletto is a great eyeliner that's very easy to work with. Another one that I love is from NYC, this liquid liner, And this liner, talk about black is black. This is black, girl. Black. But it's got this really, really fine tip, which is really nice. It's a brush tip. And it's just so black. You can see it there. And it's just because it has such a fine tip, it's really easy to work with. Sometimes I find that when the liner gets on the wand and I'm doing my eyes, it can get in other parts of my eye. That's kind of my only complaint with this eyeliner, but it's only a couple dollars and it's a really, really great eyeliner for the price. So that's the NYC, did I say NYX? No. It's the NYC liquid eyeliner. And last but not least, if I'm going to do my eyeliner and I'm concerned about it running, I really want a waterproof formula, I will definitely use the Wet n Wild H2O proof liner. And the Wet n Wild liner that looks like this and isn't waterproof is another great liner that I love to use. Again, these are $2–3 at the most. Comes with a little tip like this, but it's hard, it's not a brush. And again, really, really nice black eyeliner. And it's definitely, and as far as the waterproofing goes, I've worn this and at the end of the night it takes a lot to get this eyeliner off. So for a night out or something like that, definitely this Wet n Wild H2O proof liner is great. Alright, now I'm going to talk about a couple of bases. So cream bases are things that I would use under my eyeshadows to kind of make my eyeshadows really shine. These can also be used in place of primers to just keep your eyeshadow from creasing and keep it on your eyelid and just lasting and lasting. So first is NYX has a lot of cream-based products that I love for under my eyeshadows. And I've been a die-hard fan of these jumbo eye pencils for a long time now. They just kind of look like this. And these are just wonderful. The crayon format makes it really easy to just put it on your eye, kind of blend it out with your finger, and then put your shadows on top. This one in Milk is a staple in my collection, just to have that white color. If you have some really bright shadows that you want to make shine, put white underneath, and it's just going to make them pop 10 times more than they would without it. So that's the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk. Another one of my favorites, I think I used this in a video, was Black Bean. Just a really nice black color. If you don't want to use your eyeliner as a base and want something that's going to be a little easier to come off at the end of the night, Black Bean's great. Then this one in Yogurt. It's just kind of this creamy pinky color. That's a swatch of it right there. Has this really pretty sheen to it. I'll use this under certain pinks for my eyeshadows. This is a great one. And then this one in Cottage Cheese. They have the funniest names. But this is basically like Milk, but with an iridescence. And it's just a really, really, really pretty color. And I have a bunch more of these. I just wanted to pick a couple that I really loved. So that's Milk, Black Bean, Yogurt, and Cottage Cheese. And some more products from NYX, some eyeshadow bases are just the NYX eyeshadow bases. They come in these little pots like this. And I have this one, which is white. Just like that. Basically what this is the Milk Jumbo Pencil in a pan. So it's the same formula, feels the same, looks the same, and will do the same thing on your eye. And then they also have this skin toned color. And this is amazing. I used to use this every single day before I got my MAC's Painterly paint pot, and this is just a flesh tone. Instead of using those primers I showed you before, you can just take this, put it all over your lid, and then put your shadows on top. And even if, like I said, a white color will make your colors really pop, but putting a flesh tone color and just evening out your whole lid shade is just going to make everything look clean and even, and using an eyeshadow base or a primer, like again, is just going to make your eyeshadows last and last. So that is my NYX cream-based products. And then the other cream bases that I love so much are my Maybelline color tattoos. And I did a posting about these before, and I just think that everyone should know about them. They are so amazing. They come in so many different colors, and they're always coming out with new ones. This one here is inked pink. This gorgeous metallic color. Again, I just do the same things with these as I do with the jumbo pencils. Right there on my wrist. Just put them under eyeshadows and put your eyeshadows on top, and the color that you get from them is just so much more intense and bold and amazing. It's just great. This one is Tough as Taupe. Most of the color tattoos have a sheen. A lot of them are color tattoo metals, so they almost look foiled. But this is one of the rare ones that's a matte color. I actually wore this yesterday, and I like to use it under gray, kind of taupey shadows to make them look even deeper. That's a really great one of my favorites. And then this one is Barely Branded. Another light shade. That's so gorgeous. Honestly, I said it once, I'll say it again. I just can't say enough about these Maybelline color tattoos. I have so many. If I ever show you my makeup collection, then you'll see. But every one that I use, I love. Some I use more often than others. They have some bright colors, some light colors. Basically, whatever you need, you can find it in that collection. So I would definitely say try those out. And also, you don't have to use them as the base. You can just use them as a shadow. Just put them on your lid if you're looking for a quick look just to get out the door. Just with a single shadow, just put these on and go. There's just so many uses for them, and they're so versatile and so pretty. Maybelline Color Tattoo, thumbs up, love it. Love it. Alright, now, eyeshadow. Alright, I'd have to say about everything I'm talking about in this video, the thing that I have the most high-end of is eyeshadows. I'm really a hoarder of high-end eyeshadows and palettes. So the majority of the eyeshadows I use are high-end. But I do have certain drugstore eyeshadows that I just cling to and love so much, and they're definitely, the quality is right up there with my high-end, so I just wanted to mention them in this video. And as far as palettes go, I mentioned these in my last video, but it's the Wet n Wild Color Icon palettes. I have so many of these. This is just a few. My last tutorial was using this, the Comfort Zone palette. These are what these shadows look like. Beautiful, beautiful. They're so creamy. The texture is so nice. The sheen is so nice. The wear is amazing. This is also another one, Petal Pusher. These make some great purpley, pinky looks. And then this one, Blue Had Me at Hello. Some really fun teals and blues and blacks. I use these palettes a ton, every single one. And I would say keep an eye out because Wet n Wild does a lot of limited edition palettes too, and whenever I see one, I just have to get it. It's like a must. And I'm so glad I got these. This was a limited edition going into the wild. Some great neutrals, some great purples. Love this palette. This one I love even more. Nude Awakening, a lot of nude colors, deep sandy colors, blacks, grays. Just love these. And then, of course, for the Color Icon line, they have those big 8-pan palettes, and then they have these little 3-pan palettes. And like I said in my last video, I own pretty much all of them, but I just wanted to show you a few that I really love. This one is I'm Getting Sunburned. Just looks like that. It's got this really great pinky color, and then this sort of deep brown, and then this really nice iridescent gold color. Those are the swatches right there. Really beautiful. And you can create a whole look with just one little palette. Then this palette here, Walking on Eggshells, this is a really popular palette. A lot of these colors are dupes for MAC eyeshadows. This is what it looks like here. And on top it has this really gorgeous creamy color. The middle one is this nice brown neutral, and then the lid shade is just this gorgeous peachy color. You can see them right there. Really, really pretty. So as far as eyeshadow palettes go, definitely Wet n Wild. Again, those little palettes are $2.99, I believe. The big ones are $5.99. So great, great quality eyeshadows for the price. And as far as single eyeshadows go, again, Wet n Wild has a few single shadows that I really love. This one here is in Nutty. It just looks like that. It's this pretty taupey shade. This is actually a dupe for the MAC shade Satin Taupe. It's almost this taupe, purpley, brown, really pretty neutral with a lot of sheen to it. Gorgeous color. And then this I use a lot just as a brow bone highlight. This shade is called Brulee. Really pretty creamy color, nice matte shadow, just the kind of shadow that it's nice to have as a staple in your collection. You can always use light colored matte shadows for so many different things. Brow bone, inner corner, to blend out shadows, they're excellent. Now the other single eyeshadows that I think have superior quality and are just so gorgeous are these L'Oreal Infallible pressed pigments. They come in these little pans like this. They just look like that there. And these shadows are pigments, but a loose pigment basically is a loose form, kind of glittery formula. And this is if you took that pigment and pressed it down and put it in a little eyeshadow pan. All these shadows have so much vibrancy and texture. All the colors are just so unique and different, and I think they come in single forms because each shadow is such a standalone, beautiful color. So this is one that was like my jam in the summertime. This is called Strawberry Blonde, this color here. And this color is so gorgeous. It's like this pink, gold, opal, iridescent color. So pretty. Another one of my favorites is this color here called Amber Rush. So, so gorgeous. Like, I can't even tell you. The camera doesn't even do these justice. You have to go and see these in person. They are so amazing. Then this one here, oh, is one of my recent favorites. I've been using this like every other day as kind of like my lid color. It's called Ice Latte. It's really golden, shimmery, neutral, champagne color. Love that. And they don't only have these neutral shades, they have these amazing pops of color. This one is called Dive Right In. This really gorgeous turquoise. I'm just going to swatch these on the back of my hand for you. Oh, they're just so beautiful. And they're really creamy, the texture. I like to use these a lot with my Maybelline color tattoos as a base, and then these on top. It's just gorgeous. And they're great with any eyeshadow looks, but also if you want to just do a single look all by itself, these colors obviously stand on their own. They're just so, so beautiful. So you can see on the back of my hand here. Oh, I wish you could see them in person. Like I said, the camera doesn't do it justice at all. But this is Strawberry Blonde, Amber Rush, Iced Latte, and then Dive Right In on the end. So pretty. Strawberry Blonde is like one of my favorite colors. Iced Latte. They're all just so, so beautiful and gorgeous. Love them so much. Alright, so lastly for the eyes, I have a few mascaras I want to mention. Three of them are from the same company, so I guess I'll just talk about them first. My Die Hard Holy Grail mascara is definitely the L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara. This has been in my collection for a long time. I just get tube after tube of it because it never lets me down. The brush just looks like this. It's just this really thick natural hair brush. It gives you a lot of product on the brush, and this just gives you amazing thickening and volume. It doesn't flake, it doesn't clump. This is just a mascara that should be in every girl's collection. A recent favorite of mine, I did a first impression video, is the Lash Out Butterfly Mascara, also from L'Oreal. And this mascara is kind of unique because it has this brush that sort of wings out at the end, and these rubber bristles. You can really work right into your lashes and get some nice length and volume. And again, it's a L'Oreal formula, so it's not going to flake or anything like that. This is a newer one to my collection, but I've really been enjoying it. Also from L'Oreal is the Telescopic Shocking Extensions Mascara. This one I really love for lengthening. This also has a rubber head. It just looks like that, and it's got this sort of bend to it, as you can see. And this is really good for lengthening. Maybe I'll do my first couple coats with the voluminous, and then I'll go in with the telescopic to kind of get the length and separation that I really want. This is also a great mascara for the bottom lashes. It's got a small head so you can get right in there. But regardless, the telescopic mascara is a really great one. Lastly, for mascara, the label is sort of all rubbed off, but this is the Rimmel Lash Accelerator Mascara. And the head just looks like this. A natural bristle brush, kind of your traditional shape. It tapers on the end and towards the inside, but it's got a smaller head so I can really get close into my lash line as well. I find this to be thickening and lengthening. I like to use this one on my bottom lashes as well. This is just definitely a mascara that's in my rotation, and I use on a weekly basis, if not every other day or so. I try a lot of products, so I try to switch things up, but these are products that I constantly fall back on because I know they work and I just love them. So Rimmel Lash Accelerator. Alright, now we are done with the eyes. Whew. And I don't want this video to be 10,000 years long, so I'm just going to try to speed through the face, get to the lips, and get going. Okay? Alright, so first I'm going to talk about blush. I'm definitely sort of a blush whore. I love blushes. I have a huge blush collection, high-end and drugstore. But some of my favorite blushes from the drugstore are from NYX. Again, you can get this at Ulta or Target. And these blushes are just great quality. They have a lot of different finishes. This one here is the color Cinnamon. It's this really warm, kind of hot red orange color. And I'll use this if I'm using a similar color on my eyes. It's a matte finish if I just want a really warm toned look. It's very pigmented, as you can see there. That's the color, kind of that hot cinnamon. And you just need a little bit, just dip your brush in and put it on your cheeks. But it's a really nice all over color. Another one from NYX that I love is Pinched. It just looks like that. It's kind of this pinky color with gold reflex. I've heard this compared to NARS Orgasm, which is a really great blush. That's it right there. Really pinky, pretty, soft blush with a lot of shine. Really gives you a lot of dimension on your cheeks. And then I have a ton of NYX blushes, but I just picked a few that I love. Also, a staple is this terracotta color. That's the name, terracotta. And this is a color I'll use if I have a really bold smoky eye, if it's really warm, and I just want to use, I want a little more than just bronzer, but I don't want a lot of color to my cheeks. This is it right here, right next to the cinnamon. It's so pretty. It just gives you a little dimension and shine and a little tiny bit of color, but it doesn't overpower anything. I use this a ton in the summertime for that sort of sun-kissed glow. Terracotta, great, great shade. A random pick, one that I really have been loving for the whole year, is from Hard Candy. I just have this little sample size, but this is in Living Doll. It just looks like that. It just looks like that there. And it's this really pinky color, but it's kind of opalescent. And I just love what it does when it's on my cheeks. It's just such a unique blush that I haven't really found any other blush that's like it. Looks like that. Like I said, the camera doesn't do these colors justice, but it's a great, great blush. Again, it's called Living Doll. It's from Hard Candy, and you can get these at Walmart. Blushes that I've recently found, it's actually very recent find for me. I've just had these for a short period of time, but it's the Essence Silky Touch blushes, and they just look like this. You can get these at Ulta. I believe they're like $2.99, and I just love the two colors that I've got. This one is called Baby Doll, and it's this really neutral kind of warm mauve-y rosy shade, and when you touch these blushes, they're just so silky and smooth. I just love the way they feel. That's Living Doll, Baby Doll right there. That's Living Doll in the middle from Hard Candy. And they're so silky and creamy, you just need to touch your brush barely and apply very sparingly to your cheeks, and they're just so gorgeous. This color here is Life's a Cherry. It looks like that. And it's sort of this really, you can see it right there. Again, you barely need to press. Obviously, you're not going to push this much on your cheeks, but just to show you the color that it does give, this cherry kind of warm color just looks like a really natural flush to your cheeks, and that's a look that I definitely love. So I just thought these Silky Touch blushes, from Essence were definitely worth mentioning, so check those out. Alright, probably my favorite blushes from the drugstore are from Milani. And they just look like this. They're the baked blushes, and these are that mineralized finish that when you look at them, they kind of have these veins of all these different colors and gold reflex, and they're just so beautiful. Definitely comparable to high-end blushes. And every one I've got, I think I have about 4 of them. I'm showing you 3 here, but I just love every single one. This is the one I probably use the most, and it's very popular on YouTube. It's called Luminoso. It's this really pretty coral shade. And on the cheeks, it's just so bright. It's just gorgeous. That's it right there. Such a nice sheen and color. Love that one. This one is called Dulce Pink. It's hard to really swatch these. You have to put them on your cheeks to really, right there in the middle. That's the Dulce Pink, to really understand how gorgeous they are. That's what it looks like there. It's just so nice. And this, coming into the winter months, I've been using like crazy. This one's called Fantastico Mauve. This really pretty mauve-y color, almost like purpley, really warm. But if I'm doing a dark lip or something like that, I love to just throw on this mauve color. It's just so pretty. I love it so much. So if you haven't tried the Milani Baked Blushes, definitely go get them. You can find them at CVS. Alright, so that does it for blushes. Now moving on to bronzers. I definitely love my bronzers. Sometimes if I want to do a really strong contour, but sometimes I just want to have a flush all over my face, just a little bit of color. If my foundation isn't exactly the right tone for my skin, you can use a bronzer and correct that, kind of fake the color they're just so multifaceted and there's so many different ways you can use them. So if you're not into bronzers, I definitely tell you to experiment and give them a try because they can do huge things for your looks, for your makeup looks. So I like to use certain blushes for certain things. So the first one I'm going to talk about is from Wet n Wild. It's called Ticket to Brazil. It looks like this. It's in this really big pan, but again, very inexpensive. It's kind of not too deep, but it's a nice brown tone, maybe a little bit of orange undertones. And I like to use this if I'm just looking for a flush of color all over my face. I'll just dip it in a larger, fluffier brush like this and kind of just lightly contour my face, nothing too deep or saturated, but this gives you a really nice glow, an all even color, and very inexpensive, again from Wet n Wild. This one is from Milani. Again, they have their baked blushes. This is their baked bronzer. This one's in Glow. So pretty. Again, a mineralized bronzer, so it's got so many veins of gold and brown. And this is, that first one I showed you is matte. So most of my bronzers, I definitely need them to be matte because when you're contouring with a shimmery blush, when you contour, you want that area of your face to be darker. The highlight should be up top. So when the darker part is shimmering, it kind of just does all the wrong things for your face. But this is a shimmery bronzer. So the way you would use something like this is similar to the other bronzer, kind of lightly all over your face. But the way to successfully use a shimmery blush is you dip your brush in it, and instead of going kind of right under the cheekbone, I would start under the apple of my cheek and kind of brush backwards just to kind of get that contour right under the apple of your cheek. That's okay to have a little glow there. We have blush there and things like that, but it just kind of gives a little definition to your cheeks and a glow. It's definitely a unique way to use bronzer, but I find this in the summertime I use all the time because you want that nice, beautiful, glowy look. And this is one of the few shimmery blushes I have in my bronzers that I have in my collection, and it just works great for that sort of application. This bronzer I've used a ton. It's probably the one I've used the most over the past year, and it's Revlon Photo Ready bronzer in Bronzed and Chic. And I just think this is so great because you have so many different ways you can use this. As you can see, it comes in 4 different shades. So there's light, medium, dark, and very dark. And again, this is a matte bronzer. So if I'm looking for an all over color, I kind of sweep the brush through all 4 and just go all over my face. Or sometimes I sweep in all 4, go all over my face, and if I want a stronger contour, I'll go into the darker color and kind of chisel out my cheekbones. But it's definitely versatile, and I love that it's matte, and I love the color it gives. If you're looking for a bronzer that you can use in the most different ways and one that you're going to get the most value out of, I would definitely go for this Revlon Photo Ready bronzer. And then there's one cream product that I like to use for bronzing as well, and this is from Maybelline. It's called the Fit Me Stick, and this isn't actually advertised as the bronzer. This is actually a foundation that Maybelline makes that comes in all different shades. This is the shade 340 Cappuccino. It just kind of looks like this. And obviously this is many shades darker than what my skin tone would be. But basically what I do is I do the same thing I would do with my powder bronzers, is kind of draw out on my face where I want the bronze and then just blend it out with a small brush. I would probably use something like this little brush here just to blend out the cream color. And using a cream product to bronze can be so nice. It can look so natural. It's really nourishing to the face. You can see in the middle this has that kind of moisturizing part to it, and it's just different. It's just fun to do different looks in different ways, and I found that using a dark colored foundation as your bronzer, whether powder or cream, is really effective. And when you're looking for that matte finish as well, foundations are a great way to go. So again, that's the Maybelline Fit Me Stick in Cappuccino. Okay, now on to highlights. Highlights are something that's definitely hard to find at the drugstore. A lot of times they're advertised as bronzers, or a lot of times the highlighters that are offered have so much glitter and sparkle in them, it's just like you're putting glitter on your face. I want my highlighter to have a lot of shimmer, but very finely milled, a really natural shine. That's what I wanted to add to my face. But certainly I have found a few highlighters from the drugstore that work great. So the first one is from Wet n Wild. Just looks like this, comes in the same packaging as the bronzer. And this is called Reserve Your Cabana. It just looks like this, kind of like this white creamy shade. But when you apply it to your face, it does have a little bit of a sheen to it. I don't know if you'll even be able to see that on my hand there, right here. But this is just going to give you a really natural highlight. Nothing too sparkly if you don't want a really dewy sort of luminous look, but you still want some sort of highlight to your face. This is a great highlighter to use. Again, it's very inexpensive. It's not going to be too over the top in shine, but it's going to give you a nice creamy highlight to your face. I've used this product a lot over the past year. So again, that's Reserved Your Cabana from Wet n Wild. This highlighter is probably the one that I've used the most from the drugstore over the past year, and it is from Physicians Formula, and it's their Happy Glow and Mood Boosting Powders. It looks like this. It's got the little hearts in it, and this is in the color Translucent. And this is nice because it has those pinky colors, it has some skin tone colors, some whites. So if you want a certain color highlight, you can kind of go in and pick one of these colors. But what I like to do is just sweep my brush over the whole thing, and you get a little bit of white, a little bit of pink, a little bit of iridescence, a little bit of shine. And Physicians Formula has, if you are looking for highlights, I would suggest to look to Physicians Formula. It's kind of hard to show these highlights because they're so finely milled. You'd be able to see the chunky glitter ones a lot more, but that's not necessarily what's going to look good on your face. But I know Physicians Formula has a lot of translucent powders and kind of glowy, nice powders. I haven't tried all of them, but this is one that I've definitely tried and like a lot. So if you're looking for a highlighter, I think this would be a great brand to go and try. So again, that's the Happy Booster powder in Translucent. And the final two highlighters I have are both from Hard Candy. Again, you can find these at Walmart. And this one here is in the color Tiki. It just looks like that. And this is a gold highlight, so if I'm doing kind of a golden look and I don't want pinky or a white sort of highlight, I want a gold shimmer, this is definitely what I would use. I applied it right here. Again, they're so hard to see. But this is just such a nice, soft highlight. It gives you such a beautiful golden look to the high points of your cheeks. This is definitely one of my favorite highlighters from the drugstore. And again, from Hard Candy, this is marketed as a blush, but this is the Hard Candy Blush in Honeymoon. It just looks like that. It's this pinky color, and you would think it has more pigment, but when you swatch it, it's definitely pinky, but it's just got more of a sheen to it than color payoff. So it's great for a highlight. I kind of applied it right here if you can see it. Again, I'll encourage you to go and try these products on your own. It's very hard to swatch them so you can see exactly how beautiful they are. But I have used them all a lot and I can vouch for them. So if you're looking for a highlight, definitely try these products. Okay, now, as far as brushes and tools go, I definitely have a ton of brushes. And for eyeshadow, most of the ones I use are from Sigma. They're really high quality brushes and I love them so much. But as far as face products go, a lot of the brushes I use come from the drugstore, so I just wanted to mention them to you. First, my favorite drugstore brush is from e.l.f. Again, you can get this at Target, and it's the flat top powder brush. It just looks like this. And for the longest time I wanted the Sigma flat top kabuki brush, and it just wasn't in the budget for me to get it. So I was looking high and low for a flat top brush that I could use to apply my cream and liquid foundations. And I finally found this one, and it was my holy grail brush for years and years. It just blends out your foundation so nicely. You can also use it for powders. They blend out perfectly. Blushes. I mean, there's so many uses for it, but it works amazing for applying foundation. I think it's about $3. I have 4 or 5 of these brushes. Can't say enough good things about them. Definitely try it if you're looking for a good foundation brush. And there's just a couple other brushes from e.l.f. as well. These black handle brushes are from their Studio line. This is the angled blush brush. It's just got an angle on it like that. I use this for blush, but it's really nice for contouring with bronzer as well. And then this is the complexion brush, which I guess you can use it all over for your powder, but I like to use big fluffier brushes for my blush. So that's just another great e.l.f. blush. All these black ones from the Studio line are great. And then again from their Studio line is the small stipple brush. This is probably in second place for my favorite brush from e.l.f. And just because it can be used in so many ways. This is great because it's got the duo fiber brush, so it's really nice for blending out cream products. I use this to blend out concealer, to blend out cream highlighter. I suppose you could use it to blend out foundation too. I've never used it for that, but I don't see why you couldn't. You could do blush with it. It's just endless possibilities. Again, I think it's about $3. And I think I own a couple of these too. It's just a really great brush to have in your collection. Other than the e.l.f. brushes, as far as drugstore ones go, I would also recommend these Real Techniques brushes. You can get these at Ulta. And they have many more than this. This is just a few of them, but these are some of my favorites. This is their blush brush. This kind of big, fluffy, dome-shaped brush. I use this for blush as well as bronzer. Blends it out really nicely, really soft, a lot of bristles, no hairs fall out. These are really great. This I also use, it's their small taper brush, I believe. This is great for setting under your eye, great for doing a deep contour, highlight. I mean, it's just great for all those things, and it's nice when you can have a brush that can serve dual purposes. So another great brush from Real Techniques. And then this one, I'm not sure of the name, but this is really nice, like the flat top brush to blend out foundation. I'm sure you could use it for powder as well, but that's mainly what I use this for is foundation. It blends it out really even and seamlessly. Definitely no complaints about any of the Real Techniques brushes. Also from Real Techniques, I love this little beauty blender. I actually just picked this up recently. I'm a huge fan of the Sephora beauty blenders. I have a couple of those. But I saw this one at Ulta and I just thought it was worth giving a try because it's this different sort of egg shape. And it's got this flat side to it, which they advertise is really nice for blending out your concealer. And if you have trouble blending out your under eye concealer, you need to get a beauty blender. It just makes blending out your concealer and your foundation so quick and easy. It's almost unbelievable. Honestly, since I've gotten these beauty blenders, it's pretty much what I use. I basically use it always for my concealer, a lot of times for my foundation too. It just makes it so easy, and I love the finish you get. You don't get any streaks or lines. And it allows you to use minimal product. You just dip it in a little dot on your hand and kind of blend it out. You wet these in the sink and kind of wring out most of the water, but you still want it a little damp. It expands and gets bigger. And then you just apply your products, your concealer, your foundation. It just blends it out so nicely. This was a life-changing product in my makeup life. So if you haven't tried one of these, definitely go out and get one. This one was fairly inexpensive. I want to say it was like $5, $6. So if you've never tried a beauty blender, you have to try it. It will change your life. Okay, lastly, we are almost done, I swear. The final thing I'm going to talk about is lip products. So I'm just gonna go quickly through these products, just show you the colors. I have quite a few here. I'll just talk a little bit about them so we can just finish up with this video. So, I guess I'll go by brand. Revlon definitely has a lot of lipsticks that I love. The ones that I think are worth mentioning is this color here. It's called Pink Pout. It's a matte lipstick. It's kind of this purpley pink color. This is a dupe for MAC's Snob. I actually own MAC's Snob, and it is definitely a dead-on dupe. It just looks like that. It's a really pretty color if you have sort of a purple or pinky look that you're doing. This just matches perfectly. And again, it's matte, so when you put a gloss on top of it, you get all of your pigment, and the gloss can just give you a little bit of shine. It's just really, really nice. And Revlon also, one of my favorite products that they make for lips are the lip butters. These are just so wonderful. I think when you use these, you don't even need a gloss on top. It gives you all the color and shine that you need. I own a ton of these, but I just picked out a couple of my favorites. This one here is called Creme Brulee. It's just this really pretty nude color with a lot of shine. They feel so good on the lips. They're not drying. They're just so creamy and moisturizing. This one here is called Berry Smoothie. It just looks like that. This really pretty berry color. Love these so much. Also from Revlon, I can't say enough good things about these lip pencils. This one is the Just Bitten Kissable Lip Stain, but they've recently come out with a couple new lines, and it's the Color Burst, and then they have the Matte and Lacquer, or the Matte, yeah, the Matte and Lacquer Balm Stain. So it's basically the same thing as the Just Bitten Kissable Lip Stain, all in these pencil forms, but they all have such different colors. And when they wear off your lips, they stain them. So you'll still get a little bit of the color that you put on, and it just wears so long. They're so easy to apply because they're in this pencil form. They come in so many unique colors. They're just great. So this one is in Cherish, this really gorgeous pink color. They almost smell a little bit minty, these Just Kissable ones. Yeah, the lacquer ones do too, actually, so I'm sure the matte ones do as well. This lacquer one is in Flirtatious Charmeuse. And then the matte shade, I wore this the other day and loved it so much, is in Shameless, 215. So I just put those at the bottom of my hand there, and they're just so pretty. They last so long, and they stain your lips, so when the color wears away, it doesn't look silly because you have remnants of your lipstick. It just looks like a nice stain, like you just ate a popsicle or something. They're so wonderful, moisturizing. They're really great. So my favorite all-time lipsticks are actually from Maybelline. They're the Color Sensational lipsticks, and they come in so many different colors. They have so many different shades, and I own quite a few of them. Definitely not all of them. There's way too many. But these are just a few shades that I love so much. This one here is called Coral Gleam, and it's from their sort of iridescent line, and it's this really pretty coral color. I love to pair this with that Milani blush I showed earlier in Luminoso. They're both that pretty coral color with this beautiful shine. Love them so much. This one is in the color Warm Me Up, 235. And this is just a really nice neutral that's got a sort of deeper tone. So if I want my lips to be neutral but not nude, I'll put on that color there, and maybe if I want it a little lighter, I'll put on a light lip gloss, or if I want to keep that sort of deeper nude shade, I'll put on something similar to that color. But it's a great, great neutral. And then they have a lot of bright colors too. This one I loved in the summer. It's called Vibrant Mandarin. This really bright reddish orange color. It's just so bright and bold on your lips if you're doing a really simple eye and just want the lips to be the star. That's the color right there. Just so pretty. And everybody's skin tone's different. Everybody has different preferences for colors. So even if you don't like any of the colors that I just show you, I'll encourage you to go and try these lines from these brands, because I'm sure you can find colors that you'll fall in love with in these same brands, because the quality of the lipsticks is there no matter what color it is. So those are the Maybelline Color Sensationals. Then from Rimmel, I just had to mention I only have this one, but it's pretty much my favorite neutral, my go-to. It's called Airy Fairy. It just sort of looks like that. And it's a little lighter than Warm Me Up from Maybelline. I put it right under. But it's got a little more pinky shade to it. This is kind of like a Your Lips But Better color. And I just wear the heck out of it. Every season, it's just so appropriate. I love the smell, I love the texture on my lips, it's not drying. So it's that color there, Airy Fairy from Rimmel. Love it so much. Alright, now from Milani, they have this great line of lipsticks. I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's these gold lid lipsticks. And the formula is so smooth and creamy, and they smell really good. They're long lasting, they're just great. So there are a few colors that I just love from this line. This one is called Nude Cream, a really great nude color if you're going for a nude lip. Another sort of Your Lips But Better, love that color so much. This one is also one of my favorites. I think I wore this in a video. It's called Sangria, this kind of deep purpley berry color. Just looks like that. This is a dupe for Max Rebel. I actually own Max Rebel, and it's a dead-on dupe. So definitely for the fall and winter, wearing the heck out of this color. And then this is actually the color I'm wearing on my lips today. It's called Black Cherry. This really deep sort of cherry color. Love it so much. It's so dramatic and deep and dark. I've just really been into these colors lately for the colder month. Okay, and then again, the brand I talk about so much, Wet n Wild. They have some amazing lipsticks. Some sheen lipsticks, and then some great matte lipsticks that I just love. So this one is in 918D. It's called Cherry Bomb. It just sort of looks like this. This is a matte shade. Just this really nice deep red. So pretty, and these are from Wet n Wild. I want to say they're like $2. The packaging isn't my favorite, but what's inside it, I mean, you can't go wrong. This one is called Cherry Picking. It looks like that. This has been one of my favorite reds recently. Just this really true red. Right there. Love it so much. And there's a bunch more that I have too, but those two colors are just great, especially for this season. Alright, and finally, there's just a few lip glosses I wanted to mention. I just picked out examples of my favorite lines. I have a lot of different ones from each of these lines, but I just figured I'd show you one because this video is long enough. So first is the NYX Mega Shine lip glosses. These are so amazing. I love them so much. They kind of have that they smell like cherries almost. They smell really good, but they have so many different shades, and they just have that really thick feeling on your lips. If you don't like that, you won't like these. But I like my gloss to kind of feel a little bit thick. So that's a swatch right there. This is in the color Sugar Pie. Kind of a light pinky shade, but they have so many shades, and they all look great and feel great on top of any lipstick. Again from NYX, these are the butter glosses. I've recently discovered these and I love them. They smell like, how can you even describe it? Like candy. I mean, they just smell so good, and they come in so many colors. This one here is called Eclair. Kind of a nice purpley pinky shade. This would look great on top of Pink Pout from Revlon. But they have apple strudel and all kinds of delicious fun names and colors with these butter glosses, but they smell great, they feel great. They're not as thick as the NYX Mega Shine glosses, but they still have a nice texture and they feel good on the lips, smell good, and just have great color. So NYX butter glosses, love them. Then from Revlon, these are also Revlon probably makes my two favorite lines of lip glosses. And these tall ones are the Color Burst line. So they just look like this. They have that quilting at the top there. And this color is in Bellini. Just looks like that, and it's just kind of an almost orange soda kind of color. It looks really great on top of corals or nudes. It's just got such a nice shine. You get so much product with these. Great for nude lips, and they have so many different colors. I have a bunch. They're great. Love them. And then also from Revlon, these are the Super Lustrous lip glosses. They come in these little tubes like this. I have a ton of these too. One of my favorites is another nude called Pink Petal. This one is called Coral Reef. It's just this gorgeous coral color right there on the end. This is obviously a very bright color. It looks great on a bright lip. Like for instance, I like to wear this Vibrant Mandarin with Coral Reef. Such a nice combo. But if you did a nude lip and you just want a little bit of coral color, you could do a nude shade with this on top. So pretty. But all of these Super Lustrous lip glosses feel really good, and they're just great quality for the price. Woo! Alright guys, that is it. You made it to the end with me. Thank you so much for staying with me. I know that was a lot to go through, but I really thought it was important to do so. I hope some of the things I talked about were helpful to you. Like I said in the beginning of the video, if there's anything that you have questions about, or you'd like to see a tutorial on, or a demonstration on, please leave it in the comments below and let me know. I would so love to hear from you guys. But I guess that's it. That wraps up my video for the best drugstore products of 2013. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.